Welcome to another Fly UK stream. We are live from Milan. And we are heading over to Naples, of course, in the virtual world, not in real life, but we are in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 shared cockpit again. I'm with Jerry. Do you want to say hello, Jerry?
Good evening, all. Very, very happy Friday to you all. Hope you all have good plans for the weekend.
And I just want to do a comms check, a radio check, shall we say. Are you reading us both 5? Can you hear both myself and Jerry? The 5 pilot, how do you get a stream key? It's not an option here. They are rolling it out eventually to everybody. I requested one, and it took me ages to get one through the help section, but eventually got one 5 pilot. Can hear you both. Christian, how you doing? So we got a few got Patreon members here as well. Steve, how you doing? Evening everyone, we are, thanks. And Kim is in the room. How you doing, Kim? Patreon members. Patreon members are in the house. Hello to my 2 favourite pilots. Managed to catch the start of a live. Laughing faces. Do you have the 737? So there isn't a 737 in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 yet. There's the Dreamliner, etc., 787, but the PMDG is looking to be released soon, I believe. And and hello to those on the YT, Cliff and Notabar. How you doing? Welcome to. What do you use for the share cockpit? We use something called Dual Controls. It's a great piece of software. Well worth checking out. It's free as well to download. So so let's get started. I suppose we've already turned on the ADIRSs, so we get to view some what's happening here. Hold on. There we go. Okay, there you go. So everything's all been switched on just to save a little bit of time. I don't know whether Jerry's loaded in the passenger. Have you loaded in the passengers yet, Jerry?
Yeah, we started those there about 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
Let's have a little quick look and see how they're getting on. But sorry, Dan, can you remind us what the title of the stream is tonight?
The title of the okay. So the title of the stream is Failure Fridays. Are you reading something else, or is that sort of?
No, I'm just reading
right.
exactly. I just want you to remind everybody.
So tonight's stream is a special one. It's the first Failure Friday stream. So what that means is that something's going to go wrong in this flight. So we're not expecting an easy flight tonight. Anything could go wrong. We've set a time scale of something failing tonight, and it could be something pretty nasty, or brown pants night. Steve Rowan said. I agree. It's craziness. So.
And just to be full exposure, right? Dan does not know exactly what's going to happen. I know something that's going to happen. I can't actually predict the outcome. So we're going to treat this as whatever happens. Is it emergency? Is it something simple? Let's just do it.
It's going to be exciting, and it's something. We're trying to do something a little bit different. Notabar has said on YT, is Dan the first officer tonight? Yes, I am. So Jerry, are you ready for the Jerry cam, Jerry? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
I am,
so Jerry cam. If there's Jerry, look, there's the Jerry cam. So Jerry is over on the left-hand seat. So I'm pilot monitoring tonight. We're taking it turns essentially, and Jerry is pilot flying. So it's all fun. It means that I'm the first officer. Jerry's the captain. It's going to be fun, and it's a Failure Friday, so something's going to go wrong in the stream. We're going from Milan to Naples, and something's going to go wrong. I don't know how I feel about this, Jerry, because sometimes things do go wrong, but we actually know something's going to go wrong this time round.
I know. And the thing about it is, I have an idea what it's going to throw up at us. But I actually do not know the outcome and the results. So everything that we do on the streams is set to real life, and I don't know how the plane is going to perform. So it's exciting.
Oh, it's going to be great. And I mean, Yeah, we got a few regulars in as well. We got TikTok Scotland, Andrew, I think it is. Yeah, so hi everybody. Hi, welcome to the bird strikes on Rams.
Oh God, I hope that doesn't happen. That's the last thing I need now tonight.
It's crazy. We're going to Mauritius. I've been there 28 times. Good flight. Oh wow, that's crazy. 28 times. I mean, I've been there 3 times in Mauritius. So Jerry's been there as well, haven't you, Jerry? I think you've been to Mauritius.
Yeah, I have.
Well.
We ended up being in Mauritius for a week and highly recommend it.
Oh, Stephen Hardy's in the room. Hey, welcome to the stream again. And Cliff has said, what are your settings? Because when I do, it lags quite a lot. Is this for the yaw controls? It's just literally default settings. We haven't got anything different to what the defaults are. I didn't want to play around with it really. Does Captain Jerry have some Sailor Jerry?
Sailor Jerry?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Said 5,000. I'm not too sure.
No.
Yeah. Thanks for the follows and thanks for the subscriptions. I do appreciate it. My husband. Oh dear, that's not very good, Dennis.
Oh dear.
Anyway, Rum said 5,000. Said it's Sailor Jerry is okay. I don't know about that, but okay. So let's have a look at the passengers. We're fully boarded, Jerry. Well done.
We are fully boarded, Dan. I'll just give you an update there while you were entertaining everybody. We are fully boarded tonight. The plan's all loaded in the box. Can you just double check that you have LAMC runway 35 left for departure and LIRN24 with a distance of 501 nautical miles?
Okay, so LAMC 35, yeah, and we've got 35 and then
501 nautical miles about. Distance across the line from LIRN, time 1:15, distance 501. In the FMGC, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. Can you see my screen? I'm just.
Yeah, you do. You have it there. Just
yeah,
at the very bottom in white.
Okay.
Yeah, at the bottom in white. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Right. So basically, Dan, do you want me to just briefly go over what we're doing here tonight?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so if you want to put on the Jerry cam, I have everything all set up here.
Jerry cam's on.
Hey, super. So tonight, let me just put on my little magic button here. We can see the magenta triangle. This is where we were parked in Malpensa. And when we push back, we'll be taxiing out and all the way down to the very end here, we're left-hand turn onto runway 35 left. Once we get on the runway, Dan, you check flex the set by 80, call 100 V1 and rotate them on to any engine instruments. Call any failure affecting safety. If any of a failure before V1, I'll call stop or go. I'll select the thrust levers, max reverse. You call spoilers, reverse green, decel 100 knots, 70 knots. We take no further actions until we come to a stop on the runway. We cancel the reverses and set the park and brake and take a deep breath to assess the situation. In the event of a failure at or after V1 or if I call go, I'll continue to take off as normal, raising the landing gear, and so you silence any oral warnings. And once I'm stabilized, I consider toga and autopilot. Our airport elevation this evening is 780 feet, so we'll do any ECAM actions. We'll add 400 on top of that, so call it 800 and 400, 1200 feet before we can actually do any primary ECAM actions. We'll be alert for any deviations. Biggest threat going out here tonight is that departing on the northerly runway, we have huge mountains. So on the Jerry cam, you will actually see here how our departure is going to work, right? So off on the runway 35 left, we'll head out, we'll do max 210 knots, and then we'll proceed to all these GPS points out as far as MC628. Can you see that point in the box there, Dan? MC628. It should be about the 4th or 5th.
Yes, so I'll just quickly switch over to that. So, yeah.
The main thing I want you to tell me is from point MC628 to a point called NetLab, which should be the next one after it. Can you see between those lines? You should have a track of 227 at just over 11 nautical miles. Sometimes it's hard to see. Okay, you've got that there.
227, yeah.
And that's the most important part, because that's going to make us turn left away from the high ground, okay? So we need to follow that, and then from Nilab onto Farak. It says Farak at flight level 90, but there's a little further piece of departure. It's not depicted here in these plates, and that will continue on. The initial climb altitude is going to be flight level 110, okay? So after that, we'll be on our way. So the threats here tonight, anything goes wrong while we're heading north, we've got to make sure we turn south, okay? And that is the main threat. Okay. Other than that, Dan, we've got the briefing covered, and hope that everybody got all of that. But just before we do the start check, do you mind I just give the passengers a quick brief?
Yes, sure.
And let them know that we're ahead.
That'd be great.
Okay, I'm off the air. You mind the radios, and you entertain the passengers. I'll be back to you in a moment.
Okay, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, very good evening from the flight deck. As the captain speaking, my name is Jerry, and join me on the flight deck, Senior First Officer Dan. And today, you're all very welcome aboard this flight from Malpensa to Naples. We're going to be pushing back shortly. Once we get going, taxiing out to our active runway here will be 10 minutes, and flight time today is expected to be just over 1 hour. The weather en route forecast to be very pleasant flying conditions, and the weather in Naples at this moment of time is just light winds at just 2 miles per hour. When we establish in the cruise, we'll update you further on our progress, but for now, on behalf of all the crew, I wish you a pleasant flight.
Wow.
Okay, Dan, back with you.
You've done that before, Jerry. I can just sense it.
I've done that in my sleep. I woke up out of my sleep when I said that.
And what was the very first time you actually had to do a public announcement? What was it like? The announcement to the cabin? Were you very nervous, or?
It probably sounded very awful. Especially when you got the other guy trying to sing and distract you.
Trying to put you off. It's all good fun.
Right.
Okay, so should we call the pushback?
Please, thank you.
Okay.
Cockpit to ground. This is ground. Stand by.
Steve Rowe loved to hand over the mouth, Jerry's mouth. Yeah. Now you know the trick.
Fantastic. I hope you don't miss my connection flight. My departure is 24 minutes late.
Oh, we're doing well. We're doing well tonight. We're doing well.
We are doing well. Okay, so we're the pushback truck's just connecting now. I'm going to go in the outside shot. Let's have a look.
Sure. Yeah. So Jerry, captain in real life. I am Steve. Thanks very much. I am. Who else was that? None.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches
fly in real life.
closed.
I do. I fly in real life. I just got my roster today. Busy month ahead.
You may lift. Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
Hey, I see. That's good. All right, Dan. We're ready to go. You let me know for the parking. Oh, sorry. Can we do the before start checklist as well, please?
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brake set.
I've just realised.
Okay, cleared for push start.
Oh, we do the performance as well.
Yeah, no. We'll before start checklist.
Please release parking
cockpit
brake.
prep.
Is complete.
EFS switches.
Are on.
Gear pins and covers.
There's 3 behind, none outside.
Please release parking
Signs.
On auto and armed.
ADRS.
As 3 and nav and checked.
Fuel and block.
Is 6.4 tons required and balanced.
Barrow reference.
Is 1025, set once, set twice, set 3 times, gives me just under 800 feet.
Okay,
Please
below
release
the
parking
line.
brake.
Yeah.
Sorry, mobile phone and iPad.
Is stowed.
Takeoff data.
And you're going to set that now for me. Thank you.
Yeah. And okay, so yeah.
Please release parking brake.
Let's have a look at the weight and balance. So center of.
Please release parking brake.
Is center of gross. Okay.
While my first officer is getting the performance ready in the box this evening, the PCs that we're using, actually, they're both identical. We're using an i9 processor. We're using a 380 Ti graphics card, and I think our motherboard's slightly changed. I think I have the Republic of Gaming one. What have you got, Dan?
Please release parking brake.
good question, but it wasn't as expensive as Jerry's, put it that way.
But you know what? You won't get much difference out of it. It's only for extra slots and stuff
24.9.
like that, you know.
Yeah, it's the graphics cards made the huge difference, really. To be
It
honest,
does. The graphics card is where all the meat is, like, you know.
Okay, so 24. Zero points.
I'd say it's about, let me have a look there, 25-ish, we call it, 0.3 up, 0.4 up, 0.3 up.
Went free up. So performance data in. So stage 1 of flaps and point 0.3
Up, yeah.
up. I've never noticed that takeoff shift before. Is that new?
Yeah, it's great out at the moment. It's not models, but
Yeah.
would you know what? That is a whole lesson in itself. That little thing is a whole lesson. Yeah, it's all to do with the GPS and the takeoff shift and how the aircraft navigates.
Okay, so takeoff data's in.
Is now set for 31, 32, 36, and we're using Toga this evening.
Yeah. And windows and doors.
Is closed and armed.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
And ATC transponder.
Is now gone to auto.
And parking brake.
Is set and the pressure is checked.
And I'll put the beacon on now.
And the beacon on, please. Thank you.
Okay, so that's before start. Checklist complete.
Ready for push and start, please.
Okay, release parking brake.
And parking brake released.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
And we're tail to the...
Oh, to the left, please.
To the left,
tail
okay.
to the left,
And,
well,
okay, ignition start.
Yeah, ignition start.
And
starting
engine number
1. We're away.
Thank you very much for everybody that's joining the stream. So this is Failure Fridays, where something's going to go wrong on an A to B flight. We've got quite a few people watching this evening. We've got 150 odd people in there. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's the pressure's going to be on. If this all goes not so rosily, it's going to be terrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of people witnessing things go wrong, and that's not what we want.
And tail to the left.
And tail to the left, yeah.
90 degrees and then we're good, okay? Have to try and find my way then after that.
I was going to say I'm going to hand over the controls at that point because
let me have a look at the back there.
Not until we're taxied out because it doesn't allow me to.
That'll do us
press
about
the
there then, I'd say.
Okay.
Somewhere there, yeah. Yeah, oh, there is, thank God. Oh, see the sun coming up over the horizon.
Oh, yeah.
And starting engine number 2.
Starting engine number 2.
Look at this for perfect pushback.
There we go. Stopping
okay,
pushback.
Completed.
Parking brake on.
Parking brake is set.
Parking brake set.
Okay, and I'm going to hand over the controls to you now, Jerry, if that's all right.
Perfect.
So give control to you. You've got control.
I have control.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Cleared to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position,
Wow, we've got
waiting for the visual.
450
Thank you
people.
and
Keep
goodbye.
tapping those likes.
Oh,
keep
yes.
sharing those TikToks. Absolutely amazing. This is Failure Friday tonight. Things are going to go wrong on this flight that maybe we might not be able to get out of. That's all I can say. I mean, I just don't know what's coming. We can see what happens. So Jerry's flying tonight. It's Jerry's turn to fly tonight. Well, tap that screen. Thank you for joining this stream. There's 540 passengers on board. Look at that in TikTok passengers. Absolutely amazing.
We've 20 in the flight deck here.
We're over in Milan, and we're heading over to Naples. It's Failure Friday for those that just joining. Incredible.
Okay. So, engine ignition to normal.
Engine ignition to normal.
I'll switch off the APU. I'll switch off the APU. You will arm the spoiler.
Arm spoiler. Set flaps.
And set the flaps to 1.
To 1.
And you've checked the trim already. That's perfect.
Trim.
Thank you. So, what we would normally do, we don't do it in the stream, Dan, but just for the sake of that I'm flying tonight, I'll do it. An instrument check, okay? You've done those in your small PA-28s.
Oh, definitely.
So the instrument check on the Airbus is, we read, there's 30 registering on the tape, 131 blue and 136 magenta, climb blue, nav blue, 1 FD2. Heading looks like it's about 094 once, twice, and we would check it on the compass, except it's not modeled on this aircraft. And with that, may I have the after start checklist, please?
Yeah, after start checklist. Anti-ice.
Is off, not required.
We have engine mode selector.
Is normal.
Rudder trim.
Is 0.
Pitch trim.
Pitch trim is 0.3 up once, twice, 3 times, and that looks like it's good on the load sheet as well.
Okay, flights and instruments
Are checked.
ECAM status
is checked.
Okay, and Kim has said plenty of fuel, but I mean that might be the first thing that goes. That's the only problem.
That's not plenty of fuel. We've an hour's flight. Like, I just hope this failure doesn't really put us in a box. I don't know what's going to happen exactly, Swizzy.
Definitely. We'll see what happens. Okay, so let's taxi then. So we got our taxi lights on, runway turn flights, logo lights.
If you want to set the takeoff auto brake to maximum, please.
Yes.
Test and get the cabin.
Okay.
And you can set the mood lighting should you wish.
Okay, we'll bring that down to dim.
Okay, it's clear on the left.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Wow, this is exciting, everybody.
For who?
Look at that, Wizz Air tonight. We're this is a new type of livery, I think. I don't think we've done an A to B flight in Wizz Air. I think we've done a couple of landing requests over in Wizz Air. So it's interesting.
Okay, straight ahead and out onto the taxiway. So the first turn takes us along the terminals. Just have a look down there. Yeah, it does. And the second one takes us on the taxiway, paralleling 3-5 left. Super.
Fantastic.
I'm nervous, Dan.
Thanks for the gifts, everybody. I just want to mention before we go any further, our Patreons, because our Patreons are help support the channel further, and on board we have nobody in economy in the Patreon members, but in business we have Living History UK, Matthew Ellum, Niall Conway, Steve Rowe, and in first class we have Christian, John Restle, and we also have Kim, yet to be updated on here. That's bad on my front. I do apologise, Kim, but you will be on the next one. But I've mentioned you. Hopefully that'll be enough. So in first class we have Christian, John, and Kim over in first class. Absolutely amazing. So I do appreciate the support the Patreon members do give, and you can help support the channel by joining Patreon yourself. Patreon.com/FlyUK. I do appreciate it. So let's go on to the taxi then. Jerry, do you know where you're going yet?
After the last time I steered you into a building, wasn't it, about 3 streams ago? But we're straight down and then we're paralleling the runway. So what we can do is actually the before takeoff checks while we're taxiing.
Okay.
So before takeoff checks, please.
Before takeoff checks, flight controls
are checked.
Briefing and nav aids.
It's confirmed to set now for departure off runway 35 left and climb to flight level of 110.
Okay. I've just realised that I'm actually not with you. It's disconnected.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, well, am I going? You know, am I going or not?
Okay.
So you're moving quite nicely I can see on the jerry
Yeah.
can.
Okay.
But I'm actually on the ground. So I'll show everybody else. I'm not moving. So I'm just wondering whether you could.
I'll stop in the taxiway here.
Okay. I'm gonna. I don't know whether you've actually disconnected as client, I think. So
okay, so let me just
reconnect?
Let me just see. Yeah, it actually quit on this side. So
okay.
let's just call it back up again.
I think you were too fast. You were taxiing too fast, maybe.
Probably. Dan, can you text me that login?
Yes, I can. Yeah, and
do you want to restart your server? Actually,
well, I'm worried it might kick you off. But shall I do that?
Well, I am off. I'm not logged on, am I?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Bear with us 2 minutes. We'll just talk amongst ourselves. Now.
Yeah.
Okay, so how are you doing, everybody? So Jerry's back with us.
Release the parking brake.
Or I'm back with Jerry. So, do you want to try and taxi out then, and we'll we'll go and do that. So.
I released the parking brake. Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's not moving on this side.
Okay. Oh, sorry. You've disconnected again, actually.
Oh, really?
I'm just wondering, Jerry. Do you want to host it? Let me stop the server. Host it from your side, and because last time, if you remember, when you were taking over
that's right. Okay.
So if you host it and tell me when, and I'll basically I'll mute the mics, and you can tell me sort of accordingly. So okay, I've muted your muted the mics. Yeah. Okay, so we're back with you, everybody. So thanks for joining. We are off to Naples, and it's Failure Friday, by the way. So anything can go wrong. We had a few technical issues there already, and that wasn't even part of the sim. That wasn't even part of the sim. Can you believe it? So
that's not even part. Yeah. If that's just the failure tonight, Dan, I'll be very happy with it.
Oh dear. Who were the top gifters anyway? I'm just wondering who were the top gifters. Seb Lodge, Kim, Robbie and S-Smack were the top gifters from the last A to B stream. I do appreciate obviously the support on the gifts there, and I'm going to miss my connecting flight. Michael said, I'd probably agree with you, but hopefully we can catch this time up. But Failure Friday is not a time that you'd probably want to get your flight anyway. I mean, it's not when something potentially could happen right there. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we're taxiing nicely over in Milan at the moment, and it looks fantastic, absolutely fantastic out in the early morning.
Yes.
So Yvonne's here as well. Yvonne's here, so I'm here.
Hey, hello there.
Out of hours.
Yeah, I busy schedule, I believe. Yeah, busy schedule. Did we do before takeoff checks, Dan?
No, we have not. So let's do that. We got distracted with all this.
That's okay.
So we'll put the jerry cam on while that's doing. Okay, so before takeoff, flight controls
Are checked.
Briefing and nav aids.
It's confirmed and set now for departure off runway 35 left. We're climbing to. Oh, we did do these. So flight level 110.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So barrel reference.
Is QNH 1025 set once, twice, and 3 times.
Auto throttle, auto thrust.
No, we leave those to later on.
I don't. Yeah, we do leave them. I tell you what, it's going wrong already. It's going wrong already.
Hey.
Oh my word! Are you sure you haven't automated myself? You know, for this.
I actually beat Dan. I don't know what I pressed earlier on. I just noticed something coming.
Oh dear. Okay, ATC code
Is set.
ECAM memo.
Is take off and just the cabin to get now.
Okay, yeah, we'll call them up.
I'll just get them on my side as well.
And take off config test.
Yep.
So how do we get that test off then, Jerry?
You press the takeoff config test button that's just down on the below the screen. So I'll just stop here now before we make sure and set my parking brake. Now see the takeoff config test. If you just come down to the second screen,
Yeah.
then you've got the 4 switches below that. Then you've got all the system switches.
Yeah, I've got it.
Takeoff config there. That's the
I've
one.
pressed it, yeah.
So takeoff, no blue. Below the line,
No
please.
blue.
Below the line.
Below line, EFS and iPad.
Stowed.
Cabin,
Secure.
PAX and APU,
PAX is on, the APU is off.
and TCAS, and I'll get that.
You get that first, please, and switch that to TA or A.
Okay.
Did you get it on your side? There we go.
Yeah, got it.
Super. Right, let's do it. Let's take off. Taxi
All
on to the
right.
runway.
Ready for
Clear on the
takeoff?
left. Clear on left.
Clear on the
and
left.
Clear
Clear on the right.
The nerves are kicking in now.
It's all happening.
Yeah. That looks like a beautiful sunrise there. Looks like it's a nice morning. Look at the twilight.
Wow.
Okay. Runway 35 left, 35 checks with the compass. Excellent. Are you ready?
Okay, ready?
50%. Take off. And toga.
Toga set. Okay, Toga man SRS
Runway.
runway.
Auto thrust blue. Thrust is set. Indications are normal.
100 knots.
Checks.
V1. Rotate. Okay.
Positive climb. Gear up.
Go.
Nav.
Check. Absolutely incredible views.
Auto thrust and AP1 in, please.
Okay. APU, sorry, autopilot 1.
And auto thrust as well.
Auto thrust.
And climb, set climb power. Thrust climb, climb.
Thrust climb,
Nav.
Check. There's a dog loose in the cabin. I don't know about that.
Okay, who brought the dog with him? S plus increasing. Flaps 0.
Flap 0.
Say it was the daytime now, you'd see snow up in the Alps there ahead of us. Like, actually, you can just make it out that they're very sort of whitish. Okay, so that's gearing the flaps up and disarm the spoilers, if you will, please.
Okay, disarm the spoilers.
And if you can switch off all the lights, all the 4 lower lights for us, please.
Lights are now off.
Set standard. And
Okay, set once, set twice, and set 3 times.
passing 6,900 feet now.
Can you get me that altitude again, please?
Passing 8,000 now.
Yeah, okay, check.
So we are making that important turn to the left. We're heading west now, and then there'll be an important turn coming up. At this point in time, ATC will probably give us a direct to it will be Peacock. So direct, I'm going to do direct to Peacock. Oh. Direct to Peacock. Insert. Now we are going direct to Peacock. Climbing now, flight level 350.
350.
And 350 set, thrust climb, open climb, nav.
And check.
So we're passing 10, the lights are in. I'm going to switch the belts off. There's no turbulence forecasted then. Belts are off. Airport, we are through, the standard is set, and we're all good. Excellent. We're on the way.
Perfect.
Oh,
So,
look at that. Sorry, out my window, Dan. Like,
oh,
just get
wow.
That is incredible.
Absolutely. That is stunning. Look at that.
Wow.
Absolutely stunning.
We are on the way. Actually see some of the hills over there, just out to the left. And yeah, they are actually snow-capped by the looks of it.
Yeah,
Which you would expect at this time of the year, like it's skiing and all that goes on down there, you know?
It looks incredible. Have you ever been to Milan before, Jerry?
Oh, many a time, yeah. Milan, Malpensa, Linate, Bergamo, up that direction.
Wow.
I've been out of Pisa. Yeah, I flew into them all. They are stunning. It is stunning.
See, I don't know whether I sort of can relax tonight because something's going to go wrong this flight, and I'm not too sure what's going to go wrong. It just makes me a little bit nervous. It makes me a little bit nervous, you know.
You're not the only one.
I mean, this is it's about an hour flight, isn't it, from now? And
yeah, it's an hour
and
flight.
10,
Yeah.
but we've already done a little bit already. I mean, everything looks green in the flight deck, which is always a good sign. Everything looks green at the moment. There's no noises of alarm bells. You know, we had a dog on board barking for some strange reason. I don't know what was happening there. But yeah, it makes me a little bit nervous knowing that something's going to go wrong at any point during this flight. And yeah, there's a lot of heavy drinking going on back here, Dan. I would be nervous if I were you. Yeah, the question is that you know, we just don't want the cabin crew drinking with the passengers. I mean, when it gets to that point, then we know we're in trouble, especially if we've got an emergency, and that of course doesn't happen. But yeah, it might do on a virtual flight. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, where is that place? So we're just coming out of Milan. So
that's Milan. Yeah.
Yeah. So the mountain range.
It's the Alps there.
Is the Alps?
Yeah, they're there at the Alps there. Yeah.
Thanks for the follows, thanks for the shares, and thanks for tapping that screen. I'm just going to put it onto the Jerry cam just for a while and just have a look while I check out. For some reason I'm not getting all the comments over on the other channel, so I don't know if anyone has commented or not, but I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. So
yeah, just one or two things come in there. Big Pete asks, is the cockpit quite tight to sit in real life? He's basically referring that in comparison to the Microsoft Flight Simulator field of view. Actually, in the real life, it's actually much wider than what you see here on the flight sim. It is very roomy, and the fact that you don't actually have the big difference between the Airbus and the Boeing of not having the flight yoke there in front of you, it actually gives them a bigger sense of space in the cockpit. It's actually very pleasant to fly in. What else have we got? What flight level are we at on what QFE? We're operating on standard at the moment. Once we get it past a thing called the transition level within the area, then we go on to a thing called standard. Standard is this common pressure that we set. It's basically 1013 that we would set on the perimeter. It is a bit complicated, so I apologize if I do go a bit more technical into this. But once that's set, standard 1013, that means no matter where we are, close to another aircraft, we all have the same altitude, because the instruments are not quite as accurate when you're up at higher flight levels. Oh, there we go. We get some great views now of the Alps.
Oh, I'm just having a look now on my cam. Absolutely amazing. I mean, it's stunning. Got the Alps on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning.
Fashion capital of the world. Or no, what do you say Paris is, isn't it? Paris is probably the fashion capital. But Milan gives them a run for their money, that's for sure.
And it's really bizarre being on the right seat again, you know, being the first officer tonight's flight. It's really bizarre having it from this angle. I mean, it's you never know. I mean, in another 2 years' time, I'll be here for real.
Yeah, yes, you will.
It's that's going to be a big day. I have to admit, it's going to be a big day.
It'll be a great day.
Hopefully, it's not a failure Friday day, you know, because I don't want to. I don't want that happening. Are Squawk 7700 alerts serious, or can an aircraft continue to its destination? Well, I mean, 7700 means that there's an emergency on board the aircraft, and it's standard practice to do that so that, you know, the air traffic control can identify you easily as the aircraft in distress. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Joe.
I can. I was told this by an air traffic controller. Like, an air traffic controller may control, say, from 24,000 feet up to 35,000 feet, okay? And he has filters on his radar that he doesn't want to see any traffic below that or above his section. So he just sees people within there. When you squawk 7700, or any of those codes that depicts an emergency, it breaks through all those filters, and he will actually see you as well, whether you're below his range. So everybody gets notified, no matter what filters they have on. You break through, and they might see he could be controlling lower level, let's say between 10,000 feet and 20,000 feet, and you want to say get a clearance to come down quickly. Well, he'll see it, you know, so he can get stuff out of the way. It's very good how it all operates.
That's amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, you know, for those that are in aviation, you probably know that there are different, you know, squawk codes for different situations. But one thing that people don't really talk about much is the difference between a PAN call and a Mayday call. And I don't know whether sort of any of you have heard the PAN call, but it's you know, in the movies you hear Mayday, 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 don't you? But the PAN call is obviously a situation where the aircraft has got into a little bit of difficulty, but it's not an immediate problem. Is that the right sort of way of saying it, Jerry? It's sort of, so it's not. Well, you know, Mayday sort of would suggest that you need urgent action, and you need something sorted straight away. Where PAN is, we have an issue on board, we've got it under control, but we need to, we need to get down at some point.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, I was told as well, and this was actually very interesting, would you believe, from the same air traffic controller, that the area where he controls, if an aircraft will issue a PAN call, okay, so not as serious as a Mayday, and they're going to land at his airport, they will obviously have the fire brigade and they will have ambulance services all on standby awaiting his arrival should he need any, okay? If a Mayday is declared, he told me not only will you receive those services, but there's one unit of the fire brigade service and one unit from the ambulance service from each of the fire stations where they're stationed at will be sent towards Dublin Airport. So you're talking about a lot of traffic coming towards Dublin Airport, maybe 10, 15 fire brigade to assist. This is a Mayday, there's something really bad happening. And also 2 hospitals within that region will be notified, and they're basically clearing out wards ready for passengers after being in an accident. So that's how serious Mayday can be. So if you had a Mayday situation where you declared it and you got immediate assistance from air traffic control, and you get the situation under control, you can downgrade to a PAN to stop all of the other activity happening on the ground.
Got you. That makes sense.
It's really, really important to try and think about them,
And also, Jerry, obviously you got your 125 frequency. Sorry, not
1215.
1215. Sorry, 1215.
Yeah.
Memory block. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
So, with that frequency, how common is it to just tune to that frequency, or most, from what I can gather, most emergencies are done on frequency of whatever you're on at the moment. With the air traffic control, you don't necessarily directly tune to that frequency, do you? Or
you would always have it up on the second radio. Like, for instance, the flight that I will be doing in next week, you get to an area where you'll monitor that obviously as your primary, because it's a Mayday frequency, and then you'll also have another standby frequency that you would put up, because we may not talk to air traffic control for quite some time on this particular route. So you'd have the other one up on box 2, and you're monitoring. Other pilots may need to call you in the air and say, hey, listen, do you have any information on this, or our system has gone down for weather, and you help each other out.
Yeah,
it's a rarity, but you help each other out.
I mean, in GA, in general aviation, when I was training for my pilot's license, I was told to just tune to that straight away. Forget what frequency you're on, and you deal with it at that point. But I just wondered, in real world practice, what you actually, with an airline, what you were sort of advised to do, and I suppose you've answered it in terms of putting in a standby frequency and all the rest of it. So it's crazy. Well, it seems to be going smooth at the moment, Jerry. And
I actually don't know what, where, when, if. I just don't know. I just know I sort of roll the dice, close my eyes, pressed activate, and it's in the background there somewhere.
It's absolutely incredible views out the front. I imagine that you're getting the same views, Jerry.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely crazy.
The sunrise is a really nice time, isn't it? Like to look out, and especially if you get. And coming up on the right hand side is all going to be the Italian coastline as well, which is in itself incredible.
Yeah, I can see the Italian coastline in the right hand side window. Absolutely amazing. I can imagine. When you're flying these routes, Jerry, and you start off in the dark, like we've done essentially, and then you get up and you get that sunrise. It's such a reward, I bet.
It really is. It really is. Yeah. It really is.
It's incredible.
Like many years now flying, and I still enjoy it. To this day.
Does the sun interfere with vision, or do you wear sunglasses? Well, actually, Jerry wears something called aviators.
No, Dan wears the aviators.
Basically, I don't wear them because but I've seen pictures of Jerry. He's got these big aviators on, and he basically wears them even when he's doing night flying. I don't know what that's all about.
I promise one of these days I'm going to get a picture of you in your aviators. And when you go at me, I'm putting it into the comments, and everybody can see it. I'll drop the link and show them where to click, and show Dan in his aviators.
Do you know when he's flying? He's flying with the other crew. He only lets people refer to him as Tom Cruise. Apparently, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. He doesn't have. Isn't that right?
Oh, you're some boy, you know that. I love it though. I love it.
Oh dear. Is it right as well that you do your shopping in Morrison's in your sort of full pilot's uniform, even on your days off?
Oh, completely. You have to.
It's like seeing
Okay,
that
so
Catch Me
we
If You
just
Can,
came,
I think.
we just
you know?
came to our old cruise there, so Mac old cruise nav. So at this point, we'd get. Would you just get me some weather for the destination,
Sure.
which is Naples? I'm just going to step out to the bathroom as well, so I'm going to give you control. You watch
Okay,
everything
no
there
worries,
first.
I'll check the weather.
One moment.
So there we go. I think I upset Jerry. I think he's gone to cry in the toilet. I think. I hope he's still friends when he comes back. Of course, we should be having a cabin crew member pop in while he goes to the loo. And you might also hear him in the aircraft toilet going off in the background. So we'll get that printed off, and that'll pop out over on the left-hand side. You'll see.
And we're back.
Yvonne's here, yeah. So yeah, I was just saying, Jerry, that first of all, I was worried I'd upset you and you'd gone to the toilet to go for a bit of a cry. So that was the first worry. But then Yvonne, and then the second worry was like, oh no, I haven't got a cabin crew member in the flight deck with me, because obviously the rules.
No,
you know?
she's in. You're
But Yvonne was there, so I've just ripped that sheet off, and we've also got that in the box as well. So it looks like we've actually got some decent weather though.
Yeah.
Scattered.
Yeah. I just
And
my side
a
there,
nice
yeah.
nice light breeze for you.
Oh,
So
that's good. Oh, that's good.
a variable breeze, 2 knots.
Yeah.
The weather gods have been kind for you, I think, Jerry.
Oh, that's thankful for that, because I can't see the rest of this going too smoothly lately.
I don't know. Yeah. Any turbulence back? Joe Manor said.
No, there was the forecast was actually quite good for today, and we are using real world weather. So it's actually, this is what, if you were flying at this part of the world at this moment in time, that's what the weather would be. The time, we've just moved the time around to give you some visuals of sunrise, but the weather is correct.
That makes sense. And there's 150 people on board over on TikTok. It's absolutely crazy. I just want to make sure that I'm picking up any comments on the other side of things as well. Momo has said hello, and I think you've picked up a few of the other It's a Mist and Jake from the States, etc. Yeah. Just going on that comment as well about the cockpits and the size of them. I believe the Airbus is actually slightly bigger than the 737s. Is that right? Because I've heard some pilots get a bit jealous about the size of the.
It is like there's pros and cons for the two aircraft. An Airbus pilot will always want to be an Airbus pilot, and vice versa. You know, there's the humorous competition, as we say, between them, Airbus pilots and 737. I actually seen one great one on TikTok where a 737 pilot just says, "This is how Airbus pilots feel when they watch us land," and he did a cracking. It was a beautiful landing, and so the banter is always there. Each of the aircrafts have their own. This one can be fairly complex if you have failures. The 737 is complex enough, but you're more connected to the aircraft because you can actually feel and switch a little bit more, and you get a better understanding. So, pros and cons.
Yeah, that's. I mean, in the ideal world, you'd have a license for both of them, wouldn't you? The 737 and the Airbus.
Just because, that would be super.
Let's be honest, we're all pilots. You know, we just want to fly everything, don't we? You know, we want to have a go at everything. But it just it'd be such a privilege to be able to sort of swap between the two and be able to fly both. That would be fantastic. Yeah, it'd give you a lot more options as well for where you want to go. What's our ETA on the ground if we get there? Tucky 89 has said. Oh my word! Well, do you know what? Actually, while we're on that note, can Jerry, do you want to give us just a fuel check of where we are at the points? Because I think that we might as well monitor that, especially if we know that things are going to go wrong potentially. So if we have a look at the fuel.
So we're approaching a point called Edgar, and at Edgar, according to the flight plan, let me just bring it up on my side. At Point Edgar, we should have legally, we have to have a minimum of standby. It's taking its time. We legally should have 3,491 kilos. 3,491 kilos, and we have 4.8. So we've got 1,400 kilos above what we need.
One thing I do want to mention is that we're getting an imbalance on the left and the right
I see that.
Quite a good portion there. So
it's about 100 kilos there, isn't it? Roughly about 100 kilos. And
I'm
if you
getting
look,
I'm getting more.
What are you getting?
So I've got 2,470 on the left and 1,790 on the right.
Okay, now, I know what that is. It's that crossfeed. Oh, let me see if that fixed it there. Now, can you look up at your crossfeed switch gone out?
Yeah, no, the crossfeed is still on at the moment.
Okay, so in the left-hand side, well, the fact that this is in control, I wouldn't do too much with it at the moment.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I do see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just conscious that if there is going to be a problem, then I was just looking out for it and the fuel check and just wanted to see the balances really.
Sure. And I still have controls here, don't I? Yeah,
you have got controls. And the fuel crossfeed green is on in the this is a status window above. Is that
in other words,
we've got a company message and also a fuel crossfeed.
Okay, can you just go on on the stream, zoom in on it there, and I'll have a little look. Oh yes, I see the crossfeed there open. That's all right. Leave the crossfeed open, Dan. You're fine. You're fine.
And I've also got outer tank fuel cross FRD. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, crossfeed. That's
crossfeed. Okay.
So in total, on fuel on board, what does it read on your tanks?
Got 4.9 on my side.
Perfect. We're good. It's all right. It's just it's a little bit different just because of the simulator and that kind of thing. However, it's all available to use everywhere, so that's fine.
Okay, that makes sense.
We're in good shape. We're in good shape.
So Johnny Walker said, which is it? FSX? No, it's Monster Flight Simulator 2020. And maybe Vesuvius will erupt on your approach to Naples. Oh my word! Imagine that.
Yeah, wow.
TikTok Scotland has said, did anything go wrong yet? We haven't spotted anything. I was just checking the imbalances on the fuel page, which could have indicated a problem. But everything's green. Everything's all good at the moment. So I'm actually. I mean, this is looking pretty impressive.
It's actually doing okay, isn't it, at the moment? I hope everything works according to plan, like, you know?
Yeah.
Actually, we'll see how it goes, you know.
We'll see what happens. And you have set that timer in between, and
well, I just told the thing to do its thing, like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh my word, we'll see.
Yeah. But anyway, we can't do anything. We're having a good flight at the moment, so we'll accept it for now.
Yes. Oh dear. Blimey. So when are you next flying then, Jerry? Yourself in the real world?
In the next, I think it's towards a week and a half. Yeah,
a week and a half. Fantastic.
Yeah. So looking forward to it. I got a little bit of time off for the last week or so. I was on leave, so.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so
sorted in
cabin
there.
pressure, excess cabin
Okay.
altitude, so crew oxygen.
Masters, just do that. Okay, so we have cabin pressure, excess cabin altitude. We see the cabin is climbing. See the cabin? We have a bit of a depressurization here going on. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
The cabin is climbing up to where we are. Okay, first thing is first, oxygen masks, we would put them on. We'd check communications between the two of us, and we'd establish that. We need to descend to 10,000 feet or our highest MSA. So I'm going to initially target, initially the first thing I do is pull for a lower altitude. I'm going to set 15,000 feet initially, thrust idle, open descent, pulling the heading knob. Heading, we are maintaining heading.
Okay.
Speed, I'm winding the speed up to achieve the maximum descent rate that we can get from this machine. Faster we go, the faster we descend. I've done those things. Now cross-check my FMA. It says thrust idle, open descent, heading. We are starting to descend, which is what we want to do.
Perfect.
Now, since we've got that started, I'm now extending the speed brake to half initially, and that will assist the descent. Dan, I'd like you to switch on the seatbelt sign.
Seatbelt sign.
I want you to push the ignition for the engines to ignition start.
Yep.
That's for protection. I want you to squawk 7700.
7700.
Declare a mayday with ATC, please.
Okay.
Just tell them
what's
a mayday.
What's our call sign?
It's Wizz Air 525 depressurization, emergency descent to 10,000 feet.
Okay. Wizz Air 525, mayday, mayday, mayday. Depressurization, descending to flight level 150.
And that's it. That's
it. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, with that now, I would like you to double check that. See the seatbelt sign is on, and can you go up to the oxygen masks, the red switch on the left-hand panel, the lower red switch on the left-hand panel above?
Yeah.
Open that switch and press it, just to double check. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, that's on.
Okay, let's review what we're doing. We are going in a straight line here. I want to descend to 10,000 feet. So I'm going to review that down to 10,000 feet. We're still maintaining heading. I can now increase my speed further to get a higher rate of descent and get down as quick as we can as we're descending an emergency descent. And the speed brake is still out by half. Your speed brake out by half, yeah?
Yeah, half, yeah.
Excellent. Dan, I'd like you now to read the ECAM and make sure we have done all of those memory items.
Okay, so crew oxygen mask is on.
We are on, yes.
If you rapid decompression, then emergency descent to flight level 100.
We are doing that now.
Speed brake full. We've got that at half at the moment.
Well, you won't get any more. Let's go full then. Let's go full.
Okay. And okay, speed max appropriate, and if cabin altitude is 14,000 feet, then passenger oxygen mask manual.
And we did that. You just did that for me.
Yeah.
You see where it says on the lower ECAM now, the cabin altitude is at 18,350 feet in red. Okay, as we go down past through that, we should see that coming down.
Okay.
And it'll come down with us. So we're still continuing our emergency descent. I'm just checking our MSA that it's not going to be anything above 10,000 feet. And according to my map here, I'm cross-checking. It says 14,900 feet. So technically, oh sorry, my apologies. That's higher up. All our MSA below us is below 10,000 feet, so we're good to continue. And plus, we are visual, so we can see any high ground. Continuing the emergency descent. As you can see, it takes a bit of time to get down. So Dan, can you clear the ECAM please for me?
Yeah.
Just press clear.
The
buttons
emergency,
down at the bottom.
clear, there we go, yeah.
Just, if you press clear, did it clear on your side?
Yeah, it is clear on my side, yeah.
Okay, I just do it on my side. Okay.
And can I ask a question? Why wouldn't we like just expedite the descent down to 10,000 or flight level?
We are expediting it. Well, with
in
the
the
button.
sense of the button, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's a mode we are taking manual control of everything and making sure it's being done.
Gotcha.
Flying it manually through the autopilot. I know that sounds contradictory, but we are controlling everything. We're not allowing systems to do anything.
That makes sense.
We're making sure it's happening. So as you can see, we're coming down to 14,000 feet. This is where the cabin altitude is there. Now, another thing that we would have done is, but you said we didn't have cabin crew on board, we would have made a call that says cabin crew get on oxygen. That would have been, we're up at 25,000 feet of passengers.
Gotcha. And what sort of, obviously the passengers have the oxygen masks that drop down.
Yes.
But what do the cabin crew have? I know what the
they have a
pilots
portable
have,
oxygen. They have a portable
Okay.
oxygen bottle. Okay, so now we are approaching 10,000 feet. We are safe now without oxygen. We do not need oxygen at 10,000 feet. So speed out star. Now let's get the aircraft back into what I would call normal. So I'm going to just select 280 knots until we assess what's going on.
Yeah.
Because we've got to check the fuel down. We're burning more fuel now down at this level. Okay.
Sure.
So 280 knots. Restow the speed brake. Restow it.
Yeah.
We're leveling at 10,000 feet. We can take off the masks and now just stand by. We'll let it settle. I'll be back to you in one moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the captain speaking. Apologies about our emergency descent. We had a pressurization system fail, and we have now descended to 10,000 feet. I'm going to make an assessment in here whether we continue on with our current journey towards Naples or where we may need to divert. However, I will update you in the next 5 to 10 minutes. If you just sit back now, relax, and try and enjoy the rest of the flight. Cabin crew to the flight deck.
So at this point now, you'd have a cabin crew member come in. So they would come in, Dan, and you'd basically tell them, we've just had the depressurization, and then you tell them what your intentions are, whether you're going to continue on to your destination or we're going to divert. The time that's going to be on the ground, it could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And if there's any special instructions, in other words, at this time you would say, we need either to prepare for emergency landing. We don't. Our aircraft is actually operating normally now at the moment. We're just not pressurized, if that makes sense.
Sure.
But we don't need to be. We're down at 10,000 feet where everybody can breathe normally. So effectively at this moment in time, the aircraft is working. We're just not pressurized. It's working okay, all right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. So the things that we've got to consider, like this is obviously, common sense sort of side of things, is that are there any sort of mountain ranges that are above our altitude that we've actually gone down to?
Absolutely.
Potentially. And also what you've already mentioned is fuel burn will be greater at a lower altitude because the air is more dense down here, so that's going to burn more fuel.
Yep.
And how do we calculate to know whether we should be taking the alternative airport, or we should be
so let's have a look at, just to review everything now, okay? We are at 10,000 feet. We do not need oxygen. Our aircraft systems are all working perfectly except for the pressurization. So we're safe. The plane is flying normal. Now, the only thing that I have consideration now for is the fuel, okay? We are down at a lower altitude. We are burning now 2.5-ish tons, but maybe 2.4 tons per hour, okay, per hour. We were up at altitude, we're only burning 2 tons. So for the next hour, we will burn an extra 400 kilos. So let's have a little look. If we put in if we have a look here, the distance to our destination, can you see, is 155 nautical miles, okay?
Yes.
A rough rule of thumb, our ground speed is 333 nautical miles per hour, yeah? We're going to get there in a half an hour, roughly. How much fuel will we burn in a half an hour? We'll burn 1.2 tons. 1.2 tons take away from 4.5 gives you 3.3 tons. So that's how much we're roughly going to have when we get to our destination. 3.3 tons.
Yes.
I just want to have a little look now and see how much does the flight plan tell us we legally need for our alternate. Now, I can still commit my alternate fuel, but I'm just having a little look. So, for my alternate, I needed in total 2.2 tons. We're going to land in Naples at our current flight level with 3.3. We're still going to have 1.1 tons extra when we get there. So my decision as a captain of an airplane now in this situation, my decision would be continue to our destination.
Okay, that makes sense.
Does that make sense?
That does. I am looking at the mountain range ahead, and
I
do
am,
you know
yes.
what these sort of do you know what the height of those mountain ranges are?
I do indeed. The sector that we're going into now, is flight level 9.6. Now that means the ground is 2,000 feet below us in this sector. The next sector is 11.5. So we are visual, okay? We are visual. So we can take a visual route through here should we need, and that's no problem. If this was if we were in IMC conditions, I might consider diverting because I can't go above this 10,000 feet, and I need to get around that high ground. So the fact we're visual today, I'll continue to Naples. We can review that and divert should we need. Are you happy enough with that?
I'm happy enough with that. Yeah, we have got visual. I can confirm that as well. And yeah, it's just that the mountain ranges did look quite high, and
they do. Yeah, they do. We may have to do a little left and a little right, but that's all part of it. Okay. I know. I'll be back to you now in a moment, just off the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the captain again speaking. After the full review on how things are going here in the cockpit, it looks like we will be continuing on to Naples, and we'll be landing in approximately 25 minutes from now. So we can sit back, relax, and enjoy the remainder of the flight. And once we get on the ground, we'll speak to you further then. Thank you.
So there you go. I'm back with you, Dan. I think everything, as far as we can do, is normal. Let's continue.
Continuing there now. I mean, it's
wow.
I mean, I have to admit that, you know, in a real scenario like that, you would probably have to. There'd probably be a lot of sort of worrying in the cabin, and imagining it's been quite a shock to the passengers, and you know, it's obviously your job to reassure them, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You know, and yeah, it must be it must be quite a sobering experience. I mean, once it starts to settle down like this, I'd imagine you must, you know, as a passenger, feel comforted by sort of leveling off. I think the initial descent, you'd probably feel a little bit apprehensive, you know, naturally.
Well, the other side of this is that air traffic control will also vector us around a high ground as well. If we ask them to maintain, we want to stay at 10,000 feet, we would like to continue to our destination. They know exactly where the high ground is, and they know the routes they can actually get you through. So they give you headings left and right. Tonight, for the simulator purposes, we have to visually do it ourselves.
That makes sense. We get some great views of the wing and the Wizz Air wing. I don't know if you can see the stream, Jerry.
I can, yes.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I tried to get over to this side while you made your announcement to make it a little bit more realistic. Oh dear, it's absolutely crazy. Let's get her back over to the flight deck. Get the Jerry cam on as well.
Right, so Jerry's just looking at. I'm going to actually show everybody now. There's a little thing on the Airbus. We can actually put a button here that I'm circling called airport. So when I press that button there, oh, what's this?
Oh dear.
Oh, that was just the remnants of the cabin catching up with itself.
Oh dear. So cabin pressure, we've got 100 foot per minute, 0 now. Is that the sort of cabin?
Yes, it's 0 now. Look at the cabin altitude.
Altitude is 9,750.
So
got you.
technically, if we lost pressurization, the cabin altitude should equal our altitude-ish. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we don't have a way to control it. So I'm just going to take up a heading, which I am. I'm going to just go a little bit to the right here.
Yeah, I was going to say there is a peak hiding behind the cloud.
There
I've
is,
got
yeah.
on visual, so yeah.
So I just wanted to continue on there with Dan. You keep your eyes out the window while I have my eyes buried in here because I want to show
Okay.
people on the jerry cam.
Yeah.
Now, the fact we press that little button called airport, we can actually see all of these airports.
You got a bit
around
quiet,
us.
Jerry.
Oh, sorry. All these airports that's around us are suitable to take an Airbus 320. And what I can say, right over to the right-hand side here, there's two nice ones there. There's Rome Fiumicino and Rome Ciampino. They're very big airports, plenty of services, and they're only 60 nautical miles away. So if we can't get through here, we may consider a diversion to Rome Fiumicino.
I'll tell you one thing though, Jerry. With just changing the subject slightly, the cam is looking so smooth tonight. I don't know if you noticed it yourself.
Same here. Yeah, it is. I don't know what that town is down there.
I mean, it's absolutely stunning at this height over the mountains, but it's actually, I'm not going to lie, I feel a little bit nervous around these mountains as we navigate through.
You would. Bearing in mind, we wouldn't be doing this now in a commercial environment. We would be getting vectors from air traffic control, which they have exactly. They can steer you down a valley. They can, they're really good.
I mean, this is getting onto GA flying, isn't it? If we could take an higher.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Has anything gone wrong yet? Yes, it has. So we've had a depressurization. So we've had to come down to 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
Because at that altitude we don't need cabin pressure, and we don't need to rely on the oxygen, do we? I mean, there is isn't it at 10,000 feet you get? Is it 20 minutes, or is it above? I can't remember. There's
20 minutes on the 20 minutes on the passenger masks.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Can Jerry explain a bit on turbulence? When I fly back from the US direction, it's always bumpy. Mikey has said.
It's a very good question, and it's a very good observation that when you're flying back from the USA, you're going across the Atlantic, and generally. I won't go into the detail of this, but if you look up the Coriolis effect, that generally gives jet streams from west to east, blowing in that direction, generally. And when you think of a conveyor belt that you would use in a shopping center, when you're on the conveyor belt walking, you're going twice your speed of pace. Imagine trying to walk against it, okay? So when pilots want to come across the Atlantic at nighttime, and it's turbulent. The reason it's turbulent is that they're in the jet stream. It's a conveyor belt. They're jumping onto it, and they're going to get probably across a little bit faster than normal. And the bad side of a jet stream is you get turbulence.
And I'm just taking a look at the mountains that are ahead of us.
I can pick a way through it. I can actually see a way through it.
Okay.
Now, let's put it this way. If there was high terrain there that we're not comfortable about and it is approaching the aircraft, we can climb 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet, go over and just sneak back down again.
Okay,
Technically, 14,000 feet is where the danger zone is. We go to 10,000 feet for comfort. So we could easily do this. It's not an issue.
Can't believe myself and my internet were hypoxic and I missed it all. Oh, but Vanya, I can't believe you missed the key point. It's crazy. How about that then?
Oh dear. Right.
I wasn't too sure, you see, Joe, whether it was a second test on my part to see whether I'd got some sort of crazed captain with me that wanted to go for a mountain range too low. And
no, the only reason I'm
the
only reason I'm going to continue this is that you're going to get fantastic scenery for the viewers as well.
It's fantastic.
Let's just have a look at this. So we're nicely clear ahead. See that dip in the mountains beyond us. So we're going through there slightly to the left when we get around that peak. So that's it.
Fantastic.
Oh wow! Even the roads. You can actually see the roads and the mountains out on the left here.
So look at the jerry can. Look at that.
Just see them there in a moment.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. The views are incredible over this mountain range.
Aren't they?
Absolutely
so that's
incredible.
That's part of the reason why I wanted to continue on through.
That's it.
Not recommended for real world use.
It's definitely
that's my
it's
disclaimer.
incredible. And we've got like 265 people on board, 250 people on board on TikTok as well, watching this flight from Milan to Naples. We've already had people sort of suggest that I wonder if Mount Vesuvius would erupt. I wonder whether that would challenge us or not. But instead, we've had a depressurization. So that's been our sort of failure Friday today. So absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Okay, Dan, in real world situation, and obviously we're in a high terrain, you're going to keep an eye out while I'm looking at the approach plate, okay? I'm just making sure we're set up for the ILS approach runway 24. So you probably remember 195 looks all good. The approach coming in there, the maximum 7,000 feet, so that's perfect. We can come down a little bit further as we get closer. I'm just looking at Mount Vesuvius will be on the left hand side on the jerry cam on the way in, so hopefully that's depicted very well there. And it is a little bit of a steeper approach. Instead of a normal 3 degree going down, it's going to be 3.3 degrees. Now, it doesn't sound much, but the whole idea there is to get configured early with the gear down, so now you're dragging it down the steep approach, if that makes sense, with lots of drag. So that's it. I looked at that plate. I just want to double check it's in the box as well. You keep your eyes out, so we're going to be safe. And that's all set up there, 2-4, and that's it. It's all in. Excellent. We're in good shape.
There's not much snow around these mountains, that's for sure. The snow
certainly isn't. No,
the snow is slowly gone.
The temperature is outside on Milan. It's 9 degrees already this hour of the morning. So
oh wow,
it'll pick up probably early 20, late teens, I'd say.
And last time I was in Naples, it was on a cruise ship. And I was gutted because I couldn't get off due to the pandemic. I couldn't get off and visit, the sort of ruins at Pompeii.
Yeah.
It's been one of my tick lists, for years to do that. And then
that would have been lovely.
I'm gonna have to just take a trip back and go and do it. So I've always wanted to go there, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's another place that's not so famous, but has really well preserved streets, etc. I can't remember which place it is. Might not even be in. It might be on one of the islands. Off. But it's incredible.
It's a beautiful part of the world. So while we're nice and safe here, everything's all running good. It's 230 on TikTok. Do you want to see? Can we ram it up again like we did the other night, then?
Oh, definitely. Let's.
Tell them exactly what to do, and let's watch this instantly go up. Go.
Okay, so this is your challenge, TikTok. So what I want you to do, I want you to push this live out. I want you to try and get the numbers up. So there's 230, 240 people watching on TikTok. I want you to tap the screen all together. Tap, and share. See if we push this live up to around 1,000, views. I know it's a big challenge, but can you do it? I mean, we managed to get to about 600 last stream, and it just. It was incredible.
It was brilliant.
The power of everybody clubbing together. We had it up to about 600. Can we? I can see your likes. Look at that.
Look at this go.
Nick, So Novak, hi, thanks for the likes, thanks for the shares. Everybody's tapping that screen. Can we push it up? So we got 250 still views now. Can we push it up? But we tend to find that the more people that tap that screen as fast as possible and share, the higher that figure goes. If we can hit 1,000, we will be well over the moon. I mean, you might even get a song out of Jerry tonight. If we get to 1,000 views, you might get an Irish song or something. I don't know.
The other night, I really nearly got to the 1,000, and you know what? It was all to the power of everybody that was watching the stream. In fairness, we got you down safely. We're going to get you there safely, so you get us up there safely.
It's crazy. We got 270 people watching, 290 people.
It's going.
Rising. It's rising. Can we tap that screen? It's Failure Friday. We've already got a depressurization on the aircraft. What else? I don't know will go wrong. I mean, we've got things set up, but it's one of those things. Failure Friday is all about. It's every Friday on a stream. Things can go wrong on a Friday. Thanks for the likes and shares on TikTok. Thanks for the follows, and we've got 350 people watching now. It's rising. It's gone up by 100. But it's it's a long way off 1,000. Can we tap that screen even further to push it up? So 370 people, and we're going up. I mean, we're going to have to recalculate the weight of this aircraft as it goes up on the stream. That's for sure.
Parachute.
Parachute. We're in Wizz Air at the moment. That's the outside view of the aircraft. Absolutely incredible over the mountains on the way to Naples. Incredible. I like Frantic Friday. Actually, Tucky 89. That's not a bad shout, but Failure Friday is Failure Friday and Frantic Friday. I mean, it's one of the two, isn't it? I mean, it's all happening. We've got 350 people watching the stream so far.
Incredible.
And
incredible.
A huge thank you to everybody that's tapped that screen and shared this evening to get the viewers up as it is, and the views are fantastic as we come into Naples. Apparently Mount Vesuvius will be on Jerry's side, on the left hand side as we approach in, but of course Jerry will be concentrating flying. I'm pilot monitoring today, and Jerry's pilot flying as captain of the aircraft. So we're in Wizz Air livery. We've got 420 people watching the stream. It's going up. It is going up. It's going to the moon. Is this going to the moon? Yeah, it's Microsoft Flight Sim Rexy. Yeah, that's correct. We've been doing A to B flights. I'm a private pilot in real life. Jerry's a commercial Airbus A320 pilot in real life. Was for the airlines, and we've been doing these simulators quite recently. Regularly, should I say, with both of us in a shared cockpit experience, enjoying the lives of everybody. We're getting some real regulars coming on these streams. So there's 520 people watching this stream. Can we keep tapping that screen? Can we get it up to 1,000? Jerry's going to sing a song. I mean, you better hurry up and think of a song, Jerry, because it's going up, mate. This ain't going to be a voice song. There's 540 people now on TikTok watching this. Honestly, it's going up. So if 1,000, then you've got to sing a song, and you can't do Bar Black Sheep because that's not fair.
999 is a good number.
It's just crazy. Dear, I don't know whether being on TikTok and in an Airbus A320 is FAA approved while we're flying for real, but as this is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, I don't think the FAA will mind, of course, but the FAA approved in terms of a simulator. This is not a simulator that's FAA approved in terms of training, if that's the other question. So that's crazy. Beautiful. Jay Koala Kwaski has said, thanks for the follows, thanks for the shares. Hello from Airbus. Hello, Andrew A350. How you doing?
Hello there.
Is this a live view? How ain't be showed exterior? Okay, I can show you the exterior. So there's the Wizz Air livery as we're flying over to Naples. We've got 400 people watching the stream. Keep tapping the live just to get this live pushed out to as many people as possible. Remember, 1,000 views on TikTok. We're going to get Jerry singing a song. I don't know what song he's going to choose, but it's going up. It's going up. Look at that views. It's 400 people, and I think the record on our A to B flight was around 600. Does Jerry fly? Well, he flies for an airline, and Yeah, and that's about it really. But yeah, I'm hoping that he, when I do get to go towards the airlines, hoping he'll have enough contacts in the industry to help me out as well when I get my ticket, I suppose. So what's the chase plane? Yeah, what's the chase plane actually, Jerry? What should we say that is? What should we say that is flying alongside us? It's got to be a jet, hasn't it, to keep up with this? Would a King Air actually?
Not to speed to King Air, no. It'd be Learjet. A Learjet will do.
A Learjet. Well, we'll have the Learjet as the 470 people now watching live. 480 people. Jerry is getting close. Keep tapping that screen and keep sharing. Are we going to get Jerry to sing a song in the flight deck as we fly to Naples? Maybe on final he might sing a song.
Do you know what would be good, Dan, as well? If we had the same response on our other account and start getting that up as well,
yes,
then we can go live on both.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is tag Fly Island. Can you, everybody, drop Fly Island a follow? Fly Island is the account. Jerry, I don't know whether you want to sort of make a comment on the TikTok side just to share your account. So everybody drop, this is who's in the flight deck with me, Fly Island. I'm Fly UK, Jerry's Fly Island. No pressure, Jerry. You're supposed to be flying the aircraft. We've got 500 people now watching.
Hello. There we go.
So, okay, there we go. So, Fly Island. Everybody drop Fly Island a follow. He's trying to get to 1,000 followers. And I haven't seen it pop up yet, but on the chats. I don't know if you want to try it again.
It's in there. It's in there.
Is it in there? I don't know.
I'll try it again.
Try again. So, Fly Island. And... yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. There we go. We've got you. Hello. So Fly Island. Everybody drop Fly Island and follow. Jerry, please don't sing "Oh Danny Boy." There we go. Then. So I mean, do you know what he told me? He dropped me a text and said, "I'm going to do Danny Boy actually, just for a treat for everybody."
Don't.
But,
no.
I
Can't do that.
You know, I think it was. Could we get? Island is the king of aviation. Go on, Jerry.
I don't know. I'm actually just concentrating on look at our visibility now, Dan.
The visibility is getting pretty sketchy out there. So
yeah.
I don't know. It looks like I can pick out the peaks, but it depends on if there's any more peaks.
Well, we do have an enhanced ground proximity warning system, so if we come close to terrain, it will tell us to pull up. I think we're safe at this point in time. Again, Perfect. We would use ATC in a situation like this in the real world. We would not do what we're doing here, but this Perfect. Is for pure viewing purposes.
So it's fantastic scenery, but like you say, it's very nerve-wracking when you've got high terrain and flying this low. I mean, for those that are just joining, we've had a depressurization. We've had to descend to 10,000 feet, flight level 100, and that's because we don't have to pressurize the aircraft at that altitude. Is that right, Jerry?
That's good. Well, it's comfortable to breathe.
It's comfortable, yeah. So we, it's all happening. Andrew, A350Z flight level 100 as well, yeah. So,
right, okay, so we're doing all right here. I will be starting to descend just to 7,500 feet shortly. But,
okay. And have you got visual on the...
I have visual on everything
range?
there, yeah. I have indeed. But we're coming into an area now that I'm just... once we're in, have you put on the jerry cam?
Yeah, the jerry cam. So it said, I wouldn't say flight level 100 actually is that comfortable to breathe in.
Oh, it is actually. I've through other projects, I've been actually breathing fine at flight level 140, but flight level 100 is pretty okay. So if you have the jerry cam on there, we're going to be coming in.
We're at 500 views, Jerry, so he's getting there.
Excellent.
We're halfway to you singing a song.
No. So there's a point here that I'm trying to circle, if you can see it. It's called Bento. We are routing to this point here, and it says I have to be maximum 200 knots at 7,500 feet. So I will be judging. Let's just show you. Here's the point, Bento. So in 20 nautical miles, I need to be at 7,500 feet with flap 2 out and starting to configure for a descent, because it would be a sharp right-hand turn into the runway. Okay, Dan, may I have the approach check, please?
Yeah, so approach checklist. We've got cabin crew.
Are advised.
We have seatbelts.
On.
Briefing and nav aids.
It's confirmed and set for an ILS for runway 24 and 24 Naples.
MDV DH.
It's 660 feet.
ECAM status
is checked.
and EFS and iPad
Is stowed.
Okay, approach checklist complete.
Okay, so I'm gonna now descend to 7,500 feet, but keeping a visual out there, okay?
Fantastic. Is the flight time the same as it would be on a real aircraft? Yes, it is.
It is indeed.
Ollie. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible, really. The realism. Oh, blimey, what's this?
That's okay. That's just a remnants. Expect high cabin rate, aircraft VS reduced. That's okay. It's just telling us the differential in the pressure.
Okay.
It's okay. Trust me, it's going to be coming down. So if you just clear that off the screen for me there, Dan, please.
Yeah, I'm going to clear
and that might start keep coming up. You know?
Okay. And would that happen in the real aircraft, Jerry?
Yeah, it can do. It can do if you have that problem. That is, you know.
Yeah.
So I've just set QNH 1023 because that's what our altitudes are depicted on. Okay. And let me just put that up on the standby 1023.
Have you got visual on the mountain range?
I do indeed. I do indeed.
I'm going to pass it around 500 feet or.
We should be going around it.
Okay.
Don't worry, I will do the proper procedures and pull up should we need. But we're going to be turning right. We're actually going over that peak, would you believe, at 7,500 feet.
Oh, really? Okay.
It doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like it, yeah.
Yeah, according to the plate, you will be. We're actually going take more than a 90-degree turn to the left. To the right.
Incredible.
To the right. Okay, so I'm going to manage the speed now, and I'm going to get the speed brake out, just to help. Okay. And this will be nearly standard going into this place. And press to approach. Now, it's a bit of an unusual approach. It's a bit of a hot and high, as we like to say. So I am going to now select stand by. Flight star and load star. Okay, now this is where we should have been having flap 2 out, and now we have to try and get the speed off. So this is going to be interesting, and we're established on the localizer inbound. Gear down.
Gear down.
This is how we'll get some speed off as well, by taking out the gear. I know it looks like we're perfectly on the ILS now. So speed 220 flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
See Mount Suvius on my left, and then my 11 o'clock.
Okay, I'll
just over to my 11 o'clock there. You can see it, just the peak of it.
Ah, okay, yes, got it.
I don't see any smoke coming out. Thank God.
Look at that. Crazy.
And this is exactly the view and the same kind of approach over that mountain peak going into Naples. Speed 190. Flaps 2, please.
Flaps 2.
It's a bit misleading because it's because of that high terrain in front of you. And you literally feel like you're just skirting over the top of it. That is incredible, those views. If you look out the jerry can there, Dan.
Yeah, I'll have a look at Jerry Cam. There we go. Jerry Cam's activated.
Okay. That's how close we are going over those peaks.
Oh wow.
So, speed 147, flap 3.
Flat 3.
And speed 147, flap full.
Flat 4.
And landing checks.
2,500.
So why is the gear out, someone has asked, Jerry?
We put the gear out early to actually help bring the speed back quicker there, because we were a bit high, we were a bit fast, and so we took the gear first. Normally you take flap 1, flap 2, gear down, flap 3, flap 4. But we were very high, very fast. So by taking the gear, a lot of drag, gets the speed back, and allowed me to take out the flaps. We're actually descending fairly steep here towards Naples. It's a steep approach, so you want to be slow, not high. Sorry, you want to be slow and on profile, not high and fast. And unfortunately we were. So I fixed the problem there. Okay, landing checks please.
Okay, landing checks. Okay, so landing checks. Barrel reference.
It's Q&H set.
Also thrust.
Speed.
ECAM memo.
We've just cleared that cabin altitude again, please. Or is it gone on your side?
Okay, I'll get back in the cockpit. It's gone on my side anyway.
Okay, it's gone on my side. So we just have to wait for the landing, no blue. Okay, runways in sight.
Runways inside. Well, best of luck, Jerry. So Jerry is pilot flying today. I'm pilot monitoring. Announcement to cabin, Andrew has asked, A350.
Yeah, you can make an announcement. Some airlines would have an announcement to the cabin, like you just did there, and others don't. They would use the gear going down would be a signal that we're going to land in a few minutes and that kind of thing. But we made an you would have made an announcement at the top of descent, you know.
2,500.
Do you require any auto brake, Jerry, for the landing?
No, well, I'll do this one myself.
Absolutely amazing.
Looks great, doesn't it? Looking out serious there. You can actually see the mist layer. Just the top of it peeking out of the mist.
Any ROPS, Andrew has asked, A350. ROPS. ROPS.
Recommended operating procedures. In what I know what he's asking, but I don't. Sorry. Whoops. I'm about to put the gear up. Just put it back down again. Just make sure your speed brake is stowed as well then.
Yep. Speed brake stowed.
And arm spoilers as well, please.
Arm spoilers.
Fast landing, no blue. Perfect. So runways in sight.
Well, best of luck, Jerry.
Okay, disconnecting the autopilot.
Autopilot disconnected. Cat 1.
Checks. 1 meow. Stabilized.
Okay. You still got auto thrust in, Jerry?
Oh yeah, I'll take it out. I'll take it out. Is that a challenge?
I'm not trying to make it harder for you. Look at the view here coming into Naples.
100 above.
100 above.
Checks.
500. 400.
Land.
Okay, land.
300. 200. 30, 20, retard, 5.
Spoilers, reverse green, decelerating. 70 knots. Well, well, well. Welcome to Naples.
Fantastic. So there's a bit of a replay over on the Jerry cam, just because a slight delay over on the feeds between the two, but absolutely amazing. I'll clear up for you.
Thank you. Just off the runway. There we go.
Okay, I've
well,
actually,
it just worked out all right, Dan, after the depressurization.
Well, I'm going to have to... yeah, it worked out okay, and thanks for obviously joining the stream with us today. Absolutely amazing. Just making sure that I've actually cleaned up okay there. Trying to remember the all the flows.
Well,
can the engine norm go? Can you go to engine norm again now? Because we put it.
It can do, yes.
So
You can put it on there. I think I'm going into the GA area here. Let me just find. Let's just go here. And this in Naples. This would be typical now of where you'd be parking, you know? Not the ramp.
So Fly with Henry said your engine starters are still on ignition. Yeah, so we actually put them on ignition during the rapid descent. Was it to sort of ease the engines, was it, Jerry?
No, it's just to protect the engines.
To
protect them. Just to protect them. I think here's good enough then.
Perfect.
So park and brake is set. Pressure is checked. The APU we need to switch on. I'll switch that on now.
That was part of the checks that I had to do, yeah.
So engine 1, we switch that off.
Yep.
Leave engine 2 for the moment. And a seatbelts off, beacon off, all lights off, fuel pumps are off. Oh, continue. There we go. Oh, it's all gone up.
It's all right. It's fine.
It's all gone off. But there you go. We're done.
There we go. We're off now. So,
well,
welcome to Naples. Well done, Jerry. Successful landing under pressure as well. You escaped the singing episode tonight. I think we got to halfway. We had 500 people watching over on the TikTok. We've had about 12 people over on the YouTube stream as well. Absolutely incredible. Now, don't forget to follow Fly Island as well, which is Jerry. He's trying to get to 1,000 followers, and so he can go live as well independently. So Jerry, do you want to just sort of give a little bit of a background of who you are for those that are just joining the stream?
Yeah, I've been flying on for the last 29 years, commercially for the last 17 years in total, and coming up to near just over 12,000 hours now on the Airbus. And I have to say, thoroughly enjoy the aircraft even to this day. You know, it's just, I think when you get involved in something of this nature, you always want to be on it and not really change. Maybe a 330 or something like that sometime, Dan, like, you know, a little bit bigger, but thoroughly enjoy this now. Yeah,
and for those that don't know my account, Fly UK, so I'm a private pilot in real life. Just started my ATPL training, got my Class 1 medical basically last week. So it's all happening, and one day, in the next sort of couple of years, I'll be joining the airlines, as long as I can obviously get a job afterwards. But yeah, I'm thoroughly going to enjoy the journey. Like I say, it's just nice to actually be taking that next step towards the commercial side. So I do appreciate everybody that's joined the live today. Don't forget to drop Jerry a follow, Fly Island, and if you have any friends that can get him up to 1,000 followers, that'd be really grateful.
Really appreciate it.
Really grateful. For those that have not following my account, drop me a follow now on the live stream. Steve Rowe, great flight, good banter. Yeah, I really appreciate it. For those that want to support the channel further as well, I've already mentioned that you can join patreon.com/flyuk. So that's just a way of getting some behind the scenes information, and my ATPL journey will start getting a little bit busier on there with and I've got a video to come up this weekend about my Class 1 medical, and that'll be sort of on the Patreon a week early. And they already had the benefit of a week early video last week, which was the Hong Kong approach into Kai Tak, the old airport. So if you do want to support the channel further, you can do so by joining patreon.com/flyuk. And for those, just to mention the Patreon members once more, we've got nobody in economy signed up to economy yet. There's 100 seats in economy that's available. In business class, we have Living-ish UK, Matthew Allen, Niall Conway, Steve Rowe, and in first class we have Christian and John Restle and Kim. Kim Southern dog training. You will be on that list. Oh, I do apologise, Kim. Don't shout at me. Yeah, literally, please don't. But yeah, we had a really good Zoom conversation for the first class members last Sunday. Was it last Sunday? Last Sunday. And it was absolutely amazing to speak to some of those first class members in person. And we had a good, I think it was supposed to only be half an hour, but we ended up having about 45 to 50 minutes of a chat, to be honest. So we could have gone on for 2 hours. And then we had a Patreon only stream after that for business class and first class members. So that's once a month as well. So really appreciate everybody's support on that on the Patreon side of things. And again, you can help support the channel also patreon.com/flyuk. Really appreciate everyone that's gifted as well on TikTok. I do appreciate it. And those that have watched over on the YouTube side as well, thanks ever so much. So yeah, if you've got YouTube, head over to YouTube as well, drop me a follow there, and we'll be seeing you sometime soon. But thanks ever so much for the support, and bye for now. Do you want to say bye, Jerry?
Good evening, guys. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Good night.
Good night, and see you again. See you soon.